Hello, good afternoon, and good evening to some of our friends that are in, I think it's Australia or something like that. It's 10:25 a.m. Here in Ontario, and today I just wanted to basically react on the president's speech, and overall it was a lovely speech, and but I'm glad that he took time to address it. So I'm going to put the link in the description below, and I've prepared the slide to just react to. Basically, I'll just choose what I'm going to talk about. There was just so many things that I could have picked, but uh, I'll just deal on the morality aspect of it. And here are the things that I'm going to talk about. So for me, basically, I'm just going to dwell on morality and ethics, and I'm going to address the issues of. It's just basically my reaction on alcohol and substance abuse, and then child marriages, uh, teenage pregnancies, gender-based violence, corruption, and abuse of information communication. Uh, Yesterday, I wanted to air this yesterday, but I was a little conflicted because of the demise of RB. I thought it wasn't the best time for me to come and address this. So to begin with, let's start with the first one. Here is what uh, alcohol abuse and substance abuse, alcohol and substance abuse. So the president says the government enacted the Cannabis Act number 33 of 2021 and Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substance Act number 35. For me, though, I feel uh, as a government, we are pretty much sending to prison guys that are productive. Countries have made money out of this cannabis. So for me, I feel they should stop the arrest because most of my colleagues that I work with, they smoke cannabis, and they are productive members of the society. So for me, I feel that government should legalize this, and government should uh, grow hemp for export. This will help in creating the much needed employment for the youths. But if we're gonna continue with this archaic law of arresting these people, I don't think it's right, because look, take a look at this. Um, you send these guys to prison. We end up overcrowding prisons, and the government has to feed them. So I think the government is kind of like shooting themselves in the foot regarding this, and people have been speaking this from time immemorial. So why not just the government should take it up and grow the much and grow the hemp for export, and we get the much needed foreign exchange. And regarding the alcohol abuse, uh, for me though, I feel um, I'm not really happy with the way government is saying that the people that um, pretty much in that sector should try to regulate it. There's a conflict right there, and then someone wants to make profit, and you say it's up to you to ensure that things are not abused. The government has to come in and and pretty much regulate when bars should be open and closed. That way, it's going to help in pretty much reducing this scourge. Uh, Here in Canada, though, I happen to work for a hotel, and I've been to several bars as well. You find that whenever somebody starts getting drunk, the server has the right to refuse to serve you alcohol, because at that point, you, your judgment is flawed, right? So that's my take on this one. So basically, what I'll just say is that it's up to government uh, put in laws that will help prevent, let's say, the abuse of these things. So for the cannabis, I think government should uh, reg- uh, you know pretty much legalize it, and then we can make the much needed foreign exchange from that. So I'll go to the next slide. The next slide is child marriages. So child marriages, for me, I feel this is what the president said. Child marriages and teenage pregnancies have remained serious issues in our country. We have cases of girls as young as 12 years old being married off. We have cases of teenage girls who are still children themselves, having children. So my take is that I'm happy with government's resolve in implementing the school re-entry policy. I think that will really help, and again, also I agree that free education will pretty much reduce the stress on our parents to find money for their children to go to school. But as I said, my score on this one, I'll give my score is 8 out of 10. But I feel that unemployment plays a major a major role in this, because if, let's say, there's hunger in the house, and kids go out there, and they end up doing things that are not supposed to be done. So I feel government creating jobs would really help. And before the elections, I like the president's resolve in creating a 24-hour working environment. And I haven't heard him pretty much addressing that on how he's going to make that achievable, because that would deter people from having a lot of time that's just that's not productive. I'll go to the next slide. The next slide is again on teenage pregnancies. I feel on this one the government can't really do much on this one, and the onus is on parents to inculcate values in their children, right? But on the other hand, I think we should break from cultural barriers and teach sex education in school. I think this can really help, because there's no other way you could address it. It's I wouldn't really blame government on this one. I think this is on us as parents to inculcate these values in our children. So it's a tough call. I'll go to the next slide. The next slide is gender-based violence. So gender-based violence is another vice that continues to affect our country. That's what the president said. The government is working with various stakeholders to address this vice. In 2021, a total of 20,000 plus cases of gender-based violence were recorded, compared to. So, like I said, I'm happy that this is decreasing, and I like the fact when he said that you can't beat up your spouse during the day, and then at night say that you love them. That was I like that. But again, for me, I feel we have to look at the cause and effect, right? And for me, I feel that people have more time to stay at home, and the more you stay at home, the more you see things going wrong, and then it leads some household pressures lead to all this. Again, the key thing for me is uh, having government to create jobs so that people are productive. You go to work, you'll be tired, and then someone hasn't cleaned the table. You won't even look at that. You're tired. But if you're just at home and you're not doing anything, and then you expect that everything is clean, everything is in place, and for me it's just that it's like you have a lot of energy, but you need to expend that energy somewhere, right? So if there's nowhere don't have a job to pretty much expend that energy, if you look for somewhere to to expend it. And I liked what he said, though. We have to learn to love one another. I think that's the beginning of everything. But other than that, I think um, we jobs must be created, for people to be active. And once that's done, I think it can help in uh, palliating or mitigating some of these things. um, what is the next slide? The next slide is corruption. On this one, I was very, 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 very disappointed. I was disappointed in that 7 months in, uh, the president was still pleading with these thieves. Come on, you. I thought by this that they were supposed to pretty much put a window for the amnesty. Say, okay, uh, you have from this period to this period. Before you, if you don't do anything, if you don't return whatever you got, then we're gonna come in. But 7 months in, for him to be pleading with these guys to re- return what they looted, for me, my resolve is that there's nothing being done about this, because if you know the people that store, you are supposed to give them a time frame, and if they've exceeded the time frame, you go in and act. So from the way he said it, for me, I think uh, government is finding it very, very difficult to to arrest these guys. And he's not supposed to plead with thieves, because like, it's taxpayers' money. You have to go and then go in parliament and plead with thieves to return the loot. He's supposed to go gang ho and say, okay, the amnesty period has expired, we are coming in force. So again, he didn't provide the time frame for him to act. So for this one, my score is 5 out of 10. I think I didn't like what I heard, and yeah, that's basically that for this one. Um, Again, the last slide is the abuse of information and communication. Uh, I agree that we need to. Uh, this has to be regulated, but the question is, how is it going to be done? And pretty much this can lead into the next issue of suicides. Again, what's government can control that, but again, I feel that if if jobs are created, not everyone is meant to be an employer. Not everyone is meant to do business. You know what I mean? So some people are just comfortable with working, and if that's not provided, then as I said, you have to expend your energy somewhere. So uh, on this one, though, I would give the government 10 out of 10. But I think the most important aspect is people to be in meaningful employment, and then they'll have less time to do all these things. Okay, so that has been my take on this one. Um, Basically, I wanted to say more, but with the demise of RB, I think I'll leave it at that. So this has been my thought on the presentation from the president's speech. If you have any thoughts, you can let me know, and then I'll I only have a few minutes before I go to work. At least I have to be a meaningful member of the society, right? So if you want to comment on the speech or on the demise of RB, I've put the link in the chat below. You can join in and say one or two things. As I said, it's a half-hour presentation. I have to go to work, and yeah, I just wanted to pretty much uh, react to the speech that was presented by the president yesterday. So okay, again, let me just go back to the comments and see if I can uh, pin a few comments there. Okay, so Francis Muela says, boss talk about labor ministry. We are tired of listening to that. Okay. Well, for me, I think he touched on the labor ministry, and what he said was that if people are aggrieved or people have concerns, they can go to the Ministry of Labor and report those occurrences. But again, is the question is why are people not reporting them, and what is the government doing about it? Because I think we are coming from a time when these things will be reported and nothing will be done. So the labor laws really need to be looked into, and then we need to protect the citizenry, of course. So for me, I think the most important thing is that uh, people shouldn't be afraid of reporting these issues. They should go report these issues, and then if the government does not seek corrective action, and then maybe look for another alternative. But for me, I think if something is not said, then people assume that all is well. So let me look for another comment. Okay, so I have Dev Chi says all the above cannot be cleaned out of us, but can be controlled. Exactly. Yeah, they can. I agree. They can be controlled, but as I said, uh, we have to. If people don't have ways of expending their energy, they start indulging other vices, right? So that's my take. Thank you very much for that comment. And then the next one is uh, Francis will say you are talking hang around the Employment Act. Well, as I said, for me though, it's you cannot pretty much bring about change if you don't look at the Employment Act and try to look at that, address it, and then look at how it has failed the people. So we as I said, for me, government cannot move forward if they pretty much move with the same laws that failed the people. So some of these things, policies and procedures have to be looked at, and then the government should look at how this failed our people, and then seek corrective action. So basically, this has to be addressed. If it's not addressed, then we'll keep on having the same problems. Okay. Again, I would just let me just add this. Basically, this is what I'll go back to. Let me go to the first slide. So basically, this was just my reaction to what the president's speech, and my disappointment was just on him, you know, extending an amnesty on the thieves. You keep on complaining about people's store, and then my my takeaway is that when is that going to come to an end? So that's basically um, that's basically my thought on what the president said. So for me, he touched a number of issues, but again, the answers to whatever he said, it borders about labor issues. You know, it borders on him creating the employment. It borders around him creating a 24 hour working environment. And if that's not done, then we will keep on seeing these issues. So that's basically my take on this one. Yeah, I think that was my little 20 minutes rant. I gotta go to work, and up until next time, it's have a lovely day.